look at how those products actually reach to consumer. So think about the last time you buy some daily necessity like shampoo or toothpaste. Where did you buy it? Maybe a supermarket, a convenience store, or a grocery shop, right? I will tell you something that all of these place are part of Unilever supply chain. And in Vietnam alone, Unilever products are sold in more than 300,000 retail stores, supported by over 140 distributors. And what does this mean? It means almost everywhere people shop, they can easily find Unilever products. Okay, there are two main retail channels. The first is modern trade, such as Walmart, Circle K, or Shopee, Lazada, and this channel is growing very, very fast. But the traditional retail is still dominant, especially in rural areas. So to manage this huge network more efficiently, Unilever developed a digital platform called Order You Now, which allows small retailers to order products, track inventory, and access promotion online. Okay, and at the same time, shopping behavior is changing rapidly. So now many consumers they discover the online product first, even if we buy them offline later. So because of this, Unilever is moving toward an omni-channel strategy, which means we integrated online and offline together. And also, Unilever is developing a direct-to-consumer model, which allows the company to sell product directly to their customer. And this helps Unilever collect real-time consumer data, which improves demand forecasting and supply chain planning. Okay, now let's talk about the most important of the supply chain, the consumer. In the old days, the consumer, they tend to keep buying the same brand again and again because it's their habit. But nowadays, the consumer behavior is changing very quickly because of digital technologies, social media, or e-commerce. As a result, many people now follow to the omni-channel shopping behavior, as I mentioned before in the principal part. And so many companies would like to adapt their supply chain for these changes, and to respond to it, Unilever adopts a customer-centric strategy. I will give you an example for this case. In Thailand, do you know in Thailand, 70% of consumers separate their laundry to avoid mixing colors. So discovering this, Unilever developed a freeze detergent with anti-color transfer technology, which allow people to wash different colors together. And this example shows how the consumer insight can directly influence the product development and supply chain decision. And okay, let's move to the SWOT analysis of the Unilever supply chain for the strength. And one major strength of Unilever is the global scale, because Unilever operates in over 190 countries. So it allows the company to achieve economy of scale and reduce production costs. And another strength is the Unilever strong brand portfolio. This slide illustrates the Pareto principle. Although Unilever owns more than 400 brands over the world, they just mainly focus on the 30 power brand. Because what this means? This means a small number of brands can create the most of value. So concentrated resources for these power brands can help Unilever simplify their operation very much. So however, Unilever also faces several weaknesses. One of them is that this distribution network is highly complex, and the company still depends heavily on the traditional retail channel, especially in developing markets. And finally, Unilever also is exposed to disruption risks, such as fluctuation in raw material prices or transportation costs. And about the opportunities, I have said it many times in the previous part that the biggest opportunities of Unilever is the AI application and digital technology. So look at the threat of Unilever supply chain. First, events such as natural disaster or cyber attack can interrupt sourcing, production, and transportation. For a global company like Unilever, this interruption can create a ripple effect across the supply chain network. And second, the Unilever faces strong competition from companies like B&G or Nestle, While fluctuation in raw material prices, energy costs, and exchange rate can increase pressure on profit margins. And third, the stricter environmental and safety regulation require the company to invest more in supply chain monitoring or compliance, and which can increase operational costs a lot. Okay, this table is another symbol about Pareto's principle. You can see it's about risk assessment metric based on impact and likelihood. You can see on this table the Unilever focus on few risks that create the biggest impact on the supply chain. It's global disruption, cyber risks, and cost volatility and competition. Both of them have the high impact and likelihood. So the last part of our presentation, AI application in Unilever supply chain. I will give you a great example. For this case, you know, the ice cream business. The ice cream demand depends heavily on the weather. So Unilever